While a lot of attachment style teachers out there are telling you this and telling you that about your avoidant ex, I'm sitting here dropping the truth because I want you to heal. I'm not telling you things that you want to hear. I'm telling you things that you need to hear. So that's the difference between myself and a lot of these other coaches out there. And today I want to talk about why your avoidant ex went cold and what this actually means. And for some of you, they might not be the ex. You might still be in a connection with them, in a relationship with them. Hell, some of you might be married to them. But we're going to talk about what that means because it's likely not what you think. So I'm here to help you decode their behavior, but then please jump into my healing series because, guys, I have tons of content on how to actually heal from this, how to rewire your nervous system, which is my specialty, which is what I do with my clients in my pattern breaker and freedom sessions. By the way, if you want to book with me, there's a link to book a free discovery call below. So I'm Sarah, I'm your mindset mastery coach, transformational hypnotherapist, and attachment style specialist. And again, today we're talking about why they went cold and what that actually means. What does it say about you? Did you do something wrong? Could you have done something different? Because I know you're stuck in that looping and ruminating and even obsessing energy. And I want to help you break free from that. So let's keep it real, clean, cut, and simple. So look, this is what happens with an avoidant. I was married to one. One day, they're warm and even funny and kind of like loose and affectionate. And they might say the right things, especially in the beginning in those first 6 months, or do all the right things. And then suddenly they pull back. And sometimes it's just out of nowhere. People say, oh, there were no red flags, which I kind of wonder. I think there probably were, but when we're wired for chaos and not connection, you know, when we've had emotional neglect in our past or even outright trauma or abuse, we often don't recognize the red flags, or we think they're green flags, or we just avoid them or kind of push them aside. But I would venture to say that the red flags were probably there in some form or shape, okay? But you start to wonder, your mind spirals, especially if you're an anxious attacher or if you've become anxious in this relationship. What happened? What did I do? When the truth is you didn't do anything wrong. They got triggered. Their nervous system is dysregulated from being in connection. It's as simple and as complicated as that. They hit their intimacy threshold and they're probably going to blame it on you and say you're incompatible or they just need space and time to heal. That's a favorite line of an avoidant. They're gonna in some way, you know, pull back, and it's gonna change the relationship. It's gonna change the course of that relationship. So this is what happened during that avoidant crash, if you will. Their wall came up, right? You probably felt it. When an avoidant starts feeling emotional closeness or intimacy, their body will interpret that as danger, like loss of control, like I don't feel like I'm in control here, or they feel like you're engulfing them, you're swallowing them whole, or they feel a sense of a threat, like encroaching on their privacy, encroaching on basically the wound that they have, that I'm defective at my core. They don't want you to see that wound or even get close to it. So they will literally, they're almost like a wild feral cat, like, you know, they're just gonna like hiss you away. This is what you likely did. You experienced the connection. You felt the connection and you probably tried to fix it or fix them. And anxious attachers out there, I love you guys. You've got to learn that people don't need fixing, nor do they want to be fixed. People need to learn how to fix and heal themselves. Focusing on, basically, this is like almost like a tried and true way to test out your avoidance style without taking an online quiz. Are you a people pleaser or a fixer? You're probably an anxious attacher. Do you look outside of yourself? Are you always kind of looking at what everyone else is feeling and trying to make sure everybody's okay? It's exhausting, by the way. Your nervous system is exhausted and depleted. Then you might be an anxious attacher. But they're not consciously rejecting you, right? Their nervous system is just sort of like going offline. They have to do this. They cannot, their nervous system feels like they will die if they stay in connection. So you may have texted or over-explained yourself, right? Like called them incessantly, and it made them pull back even harder. So now there's a push-pull. You're pushing for connection, they're pulling back. You're pushing, they're pulling away. You were responding from a fear of abandonment or a fear of rejection. And they were responding to the fear of engulfment. So this is like that anxious-avoidant trap. Opposite nervous systems, same panic. You were afraid of abandonment or rejection, they're afraid of engulfment. So it's like two sides of the same coin, okay? Both people are experiencing nervous system dysregulation. But it was never about your worth, it was always about their capacity to hold love, their capacity to show up in this way for a long period of time, their capacity for intimacy. You cannot love somebody into more capacity. You can't love them into safety. You can embody that and be the presence of safety, but you cannot do their healing for them. And I think oftentimes this is where people go wrong, is thinking like, well, if I could just like show them that I'm different, I can be the exception to the rule. They just need somebody to love them. No, they need to fix and heal and love themselves. They need to create an internal environment of unconditional love. So when somebody pulls away, here's what I want you to do. Don't chase. Do not chase. Don't go no contact hoping they'll chase you. That's all bullshit, by the way. That doesn't work with an avoidant. It's a very immature way to go about things. And I think most people know this. They're just so desperate. And so those like no contact coaches feed on that. Don't do that. Don't chase. Don't get them to chase you. They're not going to do it. First of all, it's going to backfire. Step back. And I want you to learn how to be with yourself. I want you to place your hand on your heart and say, their withdrawal is information, not rejection. This is not personal. This is their wound and their fear, okay? And I want you to breathe until your body believes this. So do it right now. Drop into your heart space, place your hand or both hands on your heart, maybe one hand on your belly. Take a deep breath in, allow your eyes to close, and say, their withdrawal is information, not rejection. This is not about me. This is about them and their wound. And breathe until your body actually believes this, embodies this. Pause this video if you need to. I want you to find that space, create that space right now. And you can come back when you're ready. Because if you're tired of confusing emotional distance for rejection, right? That's exactly what I help clients do. I help you to rewire in my freedom sessions, in my one-on-one sessions. Because you deserve a love that doesn't disappear when things heat up or things get close, right? Or things get serious. You deserve a love that pulls you closer. You deserve a love where you can experience presence and safety. So in my next video, we're going to talk about they're not confused, they're avoidant, right? So if you've been trying to decode or decipher somebody's intentions or figure out what the hell happened, they're not confused, guys, they're avoidant. I want you to understand that there's always going to be mixed signals when you're dealing with an avoidant person. And I don't want you to internalize those anymore. I want to help you break free. So tune in to the next video and we're going to get you healed up even more than before. I look forward to working with some of you and I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. And let me know in the comments below, how all of this resonates as I start to help you in these videos. Now I'm starting to deliver actual healing. Like I'm giving you little tastes of what healing can look like for you and what it can feel like so that you can break free. And here's the great part. If they're not avoidant or if they're doing their work, you doing your work is not going to scare them away. It's only going to create a healthier environment for that relationship to flourish. So you're risking nothing by doing this. You're gaining everything by working on yourself. I'll see you soon.